About 3 months ago, John Mazziotti comes to me. We had met at an event, and he said, "You got to check out these guys." And my very first time I came here, and it's like, wow, that resonates. I spent 2 years writing a book. I could have just come here. It just resonates, right? And the first time I came and subsequent times I came, it's like, yeah, that's it. I get that. And so I have found home. I have found home. Now I have a confession to make. My very first time here, the speaker, or the guest singer, was Jarrett. And I have a man crush. I play the piano a little bit, and I sing a little bit, and if I ever grow up, I love you, brother. So I submitted a few things to Reverend Lynn as far as things to talk about that are included in Zenpowerment. She says emotional intelligence. It's like, cool. Yesterday, my dear angel Lauren and I went out golfing. At the end of the game, I wondered if I was qualified to teach on emotional intelligence. This is such a great teacher. We're on hole 13. How's it going, babe? Don't talk to me. Such a great teacher. It reminds me of, has anybody seen the movie Inside Out, the Disney movie? Right? And you've got all these emotions in the head, and they're driving, right? You've got joy and anger and disgust, and they're driving these people. Do you ever feel like that? How often do we feel like we're driven by our emotions? Right? And so this cool little experience happens, right? For the little girl, and they push a button. And this little ball comes down. Here's a memory. Sometimes it's a great memory, sometimes it's a scary memory. But each person has all of these little balls. And it's amazing how true that really is. In the workshop afterwards, we're going to talk about those little balls, right? And how to keep the good ones and how to kind of do something else with the ones that are not serving us. So why emotional intelligence, right? We go to college, we get a degree, we understand math and science and all these things. How many have their PhD in love? Right? Our experience of emotional intelligence and love is what we learned from family, right? As awesome and perfectly imperfect that our parents were, most of us learned conditional love, right? If I came from a loving home, my experience of love is different than if I came from an abusive home, right? So why emotional intelligence? Teddy Roosevelt said that the singular most important thing that we can learn is how to get along with others. And that's emotions, right? As humans, we have this deep feeling to matter, to be heard and understood, and to be loved. Caring about others is understanding them and getting in their shoes, right? What we think of them isn't as important as what they think of themselves. And we want to be understood. So emotional intelligence it's a huge thing in the corporate world, right? You go into an HR company and they don't go, oh, he's not smart enough. It's like this person fought with this person, right? It's all emotional stuff. And so that's what people are dealing with. So Emotional intelligence has two aspects. One is the ability to recognize and identify our own emotions and the emotions of others. And the second part is to manage our emotions and our response to the emotions of other people. Now, it's really easy, right, to do that in the rearview mirror. That was anger. Right? That's super easy. But identifying and managing our emotions when they come up, that's the important part, right? Before it becomes that thing. So one of the things that I've learned is there are two great collapses. And the one we're going to talk about today is this collapse on who we really are versus who we think we are. And it was really cool last week with Reverend Allie. She did an awesome job. And she talked about separation. She talked about we are not our thoughts. And it was like a perfect play into what we're talking about today. So this collapse is that who we really are, this divine being, right? Your soul, whatever you want to call it. The Hindus call it Atman. I like to call it the observer. But what we could collapse is our thoughts, our emotions, our bodies, our brains, our egos, our attachments, our stories. We collapse all this and we think, oh, that's me, right? So how many of us have ever confused ourselves with our cell phone? Man, my cell phone itches. We don't do that. Is it good or bad? It's neither, right? It's a tool. Now, the cool thing about my phone, I can sit it right there. I can walk away. I can create this separation, right? That's what we do with our thoughts and our emotions, is we create this separation, right? I love that before this session, we start with a meditation. Meditation is that practice of separating who we really are from everything that we're not, right? Now, the cool thing, that's just kind of practice. So we're not on the field. We don't have any tests. We're just, no tests. It's cool. And we separate, right? Mindfulness is that same practice, but when we're on the field, right? When all this stuff comes up, it's being present. The better we can stay present, the better we can create this separation, right? Create this separation from our thoughts and our emotions. And we can just go, anger. Cool. Cool. There's an emotion, right? I missed that ball. Right? Wait, separation. Oh, cool, there's anger. Now, with our emotions and our thoughts, we can do one of three things. We can attach to them, right? When we attach to them, it amplifies them, right? We can act on them. Or we can let them go. They're not us. It's just something that's over here. Isn't that a powerful place to stand? Oh, cool, there's anger. Yeah, it's not going to serve to scream at Lauren. It will not do any good, guaranteed. I'm going to let that one go. Because the big I am, is in charge. How does that feel? Right? Now, the cool thing is all of our emotions have a sponsoring thought. Right? So last week, when Rick decided that we were going to sing Always Look on the Bright Side of Life, did that bring back as many memories to you guys as it did to me? Oh, that was awesome. Thank you. That was so awesome. But it was all of the thoughts, right? The music created those thoughts back when I was 16, hanging out with friends, and all those emotions just came back. And they just played, and it was so fun. And I appreciate that. So last week when Reverend Allie got up and spoke, right, about these amazing evolutionary thoughts, and she had an acronym, right, STRETCH. That was so cool. And I thought, oh man, right, my little, compare, compete. I gotta have a cool acronym. And I like food. So how do we manage our emotions? PASTA. That's my acronym, PASTA. So the P stands for being present. Be present. We're on autopilot like 80% of our life. Some of that autopilot's awesome, right? Our brain is such a cool tool, and it creates such a lot of amazing programs to keep us and make us efficient, effective, and safe. Some of that programming's great, right? Walking up steps, I don't have to think, right foot, left foot. I know how to do that. Sometimes I can go from home to work, and it's like, wow, how did I even get there? Right? Great programs, right? Most of the programs that don't serve us or cause us emotional ignorance come from fear, not from love, right? There are two master motivators, love and fear. And when we're talking love, it's not the love that we learned when we grew up. It's what the Greeks call agape. It's unconditional love, right? I love you because of who I am, not because of who you are. That's the place of power. So when we create this space of present where we're not on autopilot, then we can say, okay, here's a program, here's a thought, here's emotion. What do I, the big I, want to do with this? And we get to choose. The A is acknowledge it, right? Acknowledge the emotion. We all have this little box down in the basement. It's got all of our dark secrets. It's got those emotions that we don't want to deal with, right? That doesn't do us any good, right? How many times do we have an emotion and we label it wrong, right? So we have this, oh, there's anger. Oh, I shouldn't be thinking anger. And it gets bigger. It's just an emotion. It's just like my phone. It's not good or bad. It's just a tool. Right? So when we are able to acknowledge the emotion, don't put it down in that box in the basement. Say, I'm feeling anger. Cool. What do I want to do with it? Right? The S is create separation, like we talked about. The T is take action. So what is the action that you want to take? You know, do I want to attach to this emotion? Do I want to act on it? Or do I just want to let it go? And then the last A in the PASTA acronym, accept responsibility for your emotions. When Lauren triggers me, not if she triggers me, when she triggers me, whose responsibility is that? It's mine. It's absolutely mine, right? And if you're in a relationship where you have two people that are very emotionally intelligent that understand that, it makes all the difference. If I get triggered, she doesn't have to go, oh, I got to go fix that. It's mine. A few days ago, we were on the phone. Lauren says, okay, I'm triggered. Got to go. Bye. Guess what? I'm like, cool. Because guess what? I don't have to fix that. That's not my responsibility. My triggers are my responsibility. So I wait. She comes back and says, hey, we're cool. Great. So the last A, exactly. How many times do we blame others for making us mad? Why do we give them that power? They didn't do that, right? So that's how we manage our emotion, through pasta. Be present, acknowledge, separate, take action, and be accountable. I am so grateful for you guys. I love being here. I love the resonance. I love the music. Rick, Jarrett, I'm so grateful for you guys. We are going to be doing a workshop afterwards. We're going to go a lot deeper. Lauren does some inner child work as her coaching business as well. And we both come we come at these things from different areas, and they're different perspectives, and they both serve. And that's what's cool about being able to do this with her, because there are things that will resonate with different people because of the way that we approach them. And so I just want to thank you for your time. I love you. I see you, and I'm grateful for you. Thanks.